So Canon just released the EOS R5C, which is the cinema version of the R5, which we already know. And they have finally come to their senses and added some cooling system to reduce the overheating issues that the R5 struggled with for long-term shooting. However, they had to cripple the damn camera. Pardon my French, because I'm so angry. Why Canon has always, it seems like they go out of their way to give us something good and then take it back by removing something or just not giving us the full whack. Like for years they've been giving us full 4K in their cameras, but they've been adding this stupid crop, and finally they really take the crop away and give us some really good hybrid cameras that us, you know, one-man crew can actually use for our work. Now they've released this bad boy here, the R5C, and they gave us all the good features that you would find in some of their cinema cameras, like the C500 and the C300. So all the waveforms and just all these different codecs that we can use and all the goodness that you would find in the cinema line. But they had to cripple the camera. Now the R5 is known for its amazing autofocus system, which is dual pixel autofocus version 2. Now Canon has gone and put dual autofocus version 1 in the R5C. Why have you done that? I have no idea why would you do that. Now they put the same version of autofocus in the C700, and this is why a lot of content creators struggled with the autofocus in certain lighting conditions, and that's okay because a lot of content creators liked to manual focus, but there's a lot of people who are run and gun shooters. They want to just shoot, they don't want to have to worry about the autofocus system, and that is one thing that the R5 and the R6 was quite reliable. It's with their dual pixel autofocus version 2. That autofocus is crazy good. It doesn't matter where you are, how fast you're moving, that autofocus will lock on you. And for a cinema camera of that size, which means a lot of people like myself, hybrid shooters, will purchase that camera over a C500 or C300 because of the price bracket. Now, why is Canon doing that? I have no idea. Why have you gone and crippled the camera by taking away the dual pixel autofocus, which makes absolute no sense? They gave us dual native ISO 800 and ISO 3200, which is great. And you know, the other day I've been on my YouTube and I've been scrolling, and I've noticed that YouTube is so saturated with Sony cameras, the A7S III Mark III, the FX3, FX6, and I know now why YouTube is so saturated with Sony cameras, because why? Sony are giving their hybrid shooters everything and more that you can find in their cinema line, because they're catering for everyone's pocket, whereas Canon is literally giving it us in one hand and taking it from the other hand. Canon, you gotta stop doing this. You know, people who are gonna buy your C500s and your C300s are not necessarily gonna give those up to buy a R5C or a C70 because they need all the other goodness that those bigger cameras offer. You're still gonna have your customers for that, your high-end cinema lines. So why don't you just leave us who can afford the R5C, give us some of those goodness. You've given us CLog 2, oh my goodness, like, come on. So you've given us CLog 2, you've given us dual ISO, you've given us all the settings that we will find on an external monitor that we don't really need to use now because the camera can actually handle that, but you take away the one good thing that these cameras are good at, and it's their autofocus. I really don't know. I mean, you took away the IBIS, which is fine because we all know how strong Canon IBIS is for video, and it does cause some wobbling issues depending on the lens you're using, so a lot of people are not really bothered about that. Like myself, I just slap the camera on a gimbal and, you know, that will solve the stabilizing issue. But to take away the autofocus system, come on, Canon. Like, if you're listening to this, I'm a little bit angry because, you know, I've been shooting Canon for years. I'm a photographer first, now a videographer, and I'm not saying Canon is the best, but I just prefer them. I prefer everything about Canon, but I just feel like there are too many shortcomings at the moment. They just taking away, giving us, taking away, giving us, taking away. And why are you doing that? I was so looking forward to being able to shoot some, you know, 8K footage for clients without having to worry about you know, overheating issue. And don't get me wrong, the dual pixel autofocus version 1, it was good because it was on the R, but it was a lot of, that's where I don't understand how you can release a camera in 2022 and be going backwards on some of the technology. It doesn't make any sense. It's like you were still putting 720 resolution in a camera that was released in 2018, like the R came out with 120 FPS is 720. Like, why are you keep going backwards, Canon? Like, please give us a camera in that price range of the R5C that has all the goodness of the cinema line. Sony's doing it. Sony's not scared to give their, you know, prosumer or their content creators everything their high-end cinema has, because they know that there's a market for everyone. So please stop it. Yeah. Anyway, we can get, what was that? Did you just say you like this hat? Yeah, you love it? Yeah, you do? Right. Stay tuned for the next video, and I will go more in depth about this hat and where you can get this hat as long as you live in the UK. So until next time, guys, stay blessed. One love. Peace. I'm out.